I really don't know how to start this one. It's the channel monthly update for February, and a lot of crazy stuff has happened that I never expected at all in a million years. And all I'm feeling right now while I try to shoot this one is complete apathy. I laugh about it, but I I'm happy, sure, but I'm also just like numb to it. I'll explain why, but we're gonna basically talk about what's happened between the previous channel update video to this point, and then look in the future to what we're going to go after. And playing in the background is some future project stuff for an op that we'll see in April, and I'll touch up on that. But let's begin. So, previous channel update, I was in a somber mood because I had compared all my analytics and decided that being a YouTuber, Twitch streamer, it wasn't gonna cut it, and I'd have to find a job. So I had a full-time position lined up that I lost because of COVID, but I called them back and said, "Hey, could I get something back?" And they're like, "Sure, but we won't be able to build it into your YouTube schedule." So I said, "Sure, fine, let's do it." And that was all ready to go. And I've been working Monday through Friday on stuff like that uh, ever since that video. I started that in February. That has turned into, it was a full time, then it turned into a part time, which I was still okay with. And then that's even dwindling now because my boss's boss is mad at my position for existing, even though he signed on. I don't even know. It's office politics stuff. So my boss has only been giving me like a few hours of work per day, like even less than four. And it's probably like the job itself isn't going to go anywhere. And normally I'd be freaking out a lot more, but everything else happened. So let's continue on with the timeline. About, I want to say the 25th, we released the simple civilian trolling video, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I hit all the proper algorithm notes, and because we recently got taken off the blacklist on like around December or November of 2020. By the way, that's why you've been seeing videos marked as a squad or GTA 5 or Gary's mod or whatever. It's because the algorithm doesn't think I do military content anymore and has been mismarking the Arma 3 videos. Um, YouTube had a change in its algorithm back in 2018 where it wanted to suppress more military content because it was trying to be more ad friendly, and my channel somehow got bundled into that, and the Shenanigans channel also got bundled into that, and then it suppressed analytics, and then ever since November, December, both my main channel and the Shenanigans channel fell out of favor of that, but YouTube's been wonky with the video algorithm thinking what game I'm playing. And again, I'm not going to fix it because I'm worried it might boot me back in there. But that's why the analytics have been a lot better over, like, ever since then, as because of that growth. But back to the timeline. That video got released for simple civilian trolling, hit all the markers to get sustained growth over, like, up until, I want to say, 5 days ago. And then a day later, at 1 a.m., I checked my Twitter feed, and someone added me saying, "Hey, look at this video Spiffing Brit released." And just talked about, community posts and stuff. And I'm like, sure, fuck it, why not? And yeah, a week later we hit 100K. And then, up until now, that was 2 weeks ago. And now we're at, 103, 199 on my other monitor. Let me click on my analytics here. Analytics had a spike on viewership. Peaked on the 8th of February, 75,000 views. Then it went down a little bit, and now it's teetering between 57K, and it's ever since yesterday up to 65K. And today we released the Napalm video from Monday, and the SCP op that I cut through, and that's helping things go. So viewership is stabilizing between 55 and 65K, which is about what a channel my size is supposed to be getting when you compare it to other channels with similar release rates for videos on the schedule. Even though I'm using Social Blade statistics, which aren't the most accurate thing in the world, but if I take where my data is skewed on Social Blade and compare it to other channels, you can still get some decent data to go off of. And then revenue. Usually, if I were to go back a few months, usually I make about 1K off of this stuff, if not less. And now it's up to 2.5 right now, and it still has room to grow. And YouTube also oofed some of the data between the 7th and 9th, so that's not factored into the pay right now. But based off of the rate for February 13th, for example, where it's 50, whatchamacallit, 57,000, I made like $127 that day. So it's anywhere from, if that rate fluctuates between 55 and 65K viewers, that's like 125 to like $135. And I'll talk more about why that's interesting later. But the $2,000 I was talking about last video that I needed to come up with is now going to be there on YouTube, so I don't need to get the job anymore. I'm still going to do what I'm doing right now until my boss's boss gets fed up with it, but I just, I don't know. Like, I make a joke with some people from time to time about all the apology videos or the I'm sorry videos or the pity videos you see on YouTube, and then I put one up just to explain the situation, and then this happens. I I don't get it. I don't get why fate is weird, but I'll I'll take it, I guess. I mean, this means I can keep doing YouTube stuff full time. I've been a lot happier now that this has happened because I'm not stressed anymore on financial stuff. Bloodwing and I are actually looking at, the mortgage we can get for a townhouse sometime soon, and things are looking really up now. And I want to be really happy about, but at the same time, I'm just also worried that, something's going to give somewhere. But so far, it's been okay, you know? And well, we'll see what happens for the March video, but I just find this all interesting. And then, the Shenanigans channel, it's also doing its proportional growth with everything, and we'll just have to see where that goes too. But I'm just kind of shocked about all of this more than anything else. And it's really thanks to you guys, for watching the content, giving your feedback, because all of the likes and comments you do contributes to the viewership and, helps the channel get better. I mean, if I were to look on the where is it, the reach right now, YouTube saying 70.6% of YouTube recommended your content for all of the views I've gotten. That number is normally down to like 30 to 45. So that's about double. So that's why everything's doing better, but that's also in tied with the random polls we've been putting up. But I'm just shocked that this is all happening. And I was worried because the civilian trolling video was, it started losing steam, but the viewership just latched on to a different video, the super tank video where I put a battleship cannon on top of a tank during an orc thing from like 2 years ago. And now if I were to look at overall analytics, all of the recent highlights that I would normally put up anyway, because I've been doing this trend for about 2 years now. We put a highlight and then a Zeus video and then maybe a third video. It's those highlights that are just helping push the channel up. But the sheer amount of content I have is what's helping me get these high numbers. And damn, I might actually be able to pull through here, and it's exciting. It's just every day where things look stabilized, it looks like this will be a thing, at least till Arma 4 comes out, which will be a long way away. But I mean, we're past 100K. That I never thought that would happen. We're an Arma 3 exclusive channel, more or less. We dabble in a few other things, and we're at this far, and it's amazing. No, I'm not gonna cry in this video. Fuck. Okay. Let's talk about future content stuff. So the whole scheme of things right now, we'll go Sunday to Saturday. So Sunday, gonna get back in the habit of public ops. And then I found something with some new INIDB2 framework to help do a syndicate campaign. To explain what that is, INIDB2 is a mod that allows you to write a bunch of complex scripts to save player stats and gear on the server itself. So you can do recurring kits without having to do like arsenal stuff and whatnot. Uh, so I found some better framework for that. Someone wrote a better version of it in a scenario, and I'm looking through that right now. And that's really important for making something that's like a syndicate campaign. For those of you who don't know what the syndicate campaign was, it was basically one of those recurring scenarios where you did missions and it grew like a syndicate style faction from Arma 3 Apex. To slowly take over the country in a criminal empire. So that's actually coming close soon. I just have to finish that framework. And then the T3 ops, I'm working on an Emulse campaign. The SCP op we did yesterday, excuse me, that we released today, was actually just an extensive test on the Bloodsucker models to make sure that their grapple attacks wouldn't crash the server. They didn't, which is great. But they did still cause a few spawning issues, so I have to do a secondary stress test with like 10 to 15 people to make sure when I place those puppies down, it won't crash me anymore, but it doesn't crash the server, which is the most important thing, because I don't mind taking a crash if it means the operation can continue and the players can get their experience, which, again, most important part. So I've got that's either going to be a 2 or 3 part mission, but I do have also a few Sundays booked with various events, or I have to take time off for a few IRL things because I already mentioned Bloodway and I looking into mortgages, and we need some time day to day to achieve that. But it looks like we might actually be able to do it, and it's very exciting. So that's that for Sunday. Monday is still going to be a 2-part operation. Right now I've shelved the 2020 campaign for Chernarus just to take a small break from it. We ran the Vietnam test stop for Project 17. I'll touch on that after the weekly stuff, as well as the video feed we're watching right here, because that touches on 18. But I've got a few Spanish ops I want to do because we rotate in the Spanish mod from the Steam Workshop into our main mod set for TSB, and no one's been touching it, and there's a lot of really cool things in there. So I've got a few ops planned, and we'll probably get back on the Chernarus 2020 campaign in April. Wait, no. April's in 2 months. March. I meant March. And we'll go on with that. And then the second op will be, the 1 hour interesting or meme op that I decided to do. So yesterday was the SCP thing. The week before that was that artillery only? The 100K celebration for artillery only, I think. And then next week will be the mecha op, which you saw some footage of me just doing some general testing of the mechs to make sure they were all workable. And then I will also do a laboratory stream sometime this week to make the quote-unquote boss unit for that mecha op. It's probably going to be another submarine, but we'll see how things go. And for those of you who don't know what the submarine is, just look up the Zeppelin on YouTube, and you'll find out real quick what it is. Giant Fluffers also is going to be a thing when we get the dev branch out, but only until the dev branch becomes the main branch build with that new Art of War DLC coming out. So TBA on that, but that'll be it for Monday. Tuesday, we might start seeing some SCP stuff on the ground here and there, but it'll be distant. There's a new small group I'm going to start playing with on those dates. More around 2 to 5-ish in the afternoon. But I will say for House Aiden, I'm going to take a small break because I'm completely burnt out on Mandalorian stuff right now. The main reason being when you spend like 4 to 6 hours a week on a mission file, making all this extensive lore and backstory and trying to calculate, some balance for that, and then their armor values are so overpowered that they just steamroll everything, it kind of takes all the fun out in designing it. Especially since you, built a meta and then they changed the armor values like more than like 3 or 4 weeks ago because of mod updates, and then they just overpowered all the balance that you made, and it just kind of threw the entire campaign out of sync, and I don't really have any way to fix that because I wasn't expecting them to do something like that. So I'm just taking a break from that. Hopefully, I'll get the mojo back for that by March. Wednesday, we're still doing. We're gonna finish the 2 ops I have left for the bi-weekly Wednesday stuff for Stargate, the 1945 3-mission campaign. So we'll see that on Wednesday, as well as the 506 Dresler campaign. I have 2 missions left for that, and we will wrap that up. After that campaign, I have no idea what Drum, aka Jester 814, is going to want. It's entirely up to him, but Stalker's on the table, SCP is on the table, zombie stuff is on the table, even though it didn't really do well last time we did a zombie campaign, so I don't think we're going to do it again. But there's a lot we could do. It's just entirely up to him because it's, his unit, his show. But I will let you guys know what he decides because he was asking a lot of Stalker-based questions, and it would be doable now that we have some updated Stalker stuff, which again we tested with the SCP mod. But we'll, get there when we get there. Otherwise, I'm trying to think what else. What's going to replace the Stargate campaign is a CIA 1963 campaign. That is mostly ready to go, but we'll get there when we get there because that's still about 4 weeks away. All right, Thursday, still going to do the OFCRA stuff, followed by the Paw Patrol op, because everyone seems to love Paw Patrol, especially the checkpoint RPs. I will see if I can get a checkpoint RP done with them every 2 months at the quickest, like at the minimum. But that's going to be entirely up to them because they want to, they don't want to do checkpoint RPs on all the time, which is perfectly fine. But that's just, something to add to our repertoire. And then, of course, I'll try to do TM stuff on the ground when I'm either feeling up to it or when I'm not drunk out of my mind from streaming Paw Patrol Zeusing. Fridays, because of how everything has changed, we're still going to do NA and EU commentaries. And then Saturday is still going to be the off day where I do have a lot of things planned for Saturdays coming up, though. To touch on that, Project 17, which you saw the debut op for yesterday, it is a 79-person PvP, 79-person Vietnam operation. It's not PvP, it's PvE, and it's honestly the last stream I have for Arma 3 is to run these massive multi-community operations. I was really inspired when I touched on coalition stuff a few months ago, even though it was PvP, and CCO7 also did completely ruin my taste for PvP, but, the framework exists, and that showed it to me. And then even past that, when I was doing like 80 or 90-person Zeus ops for the 700 Cadian, it just showed me that it was all possible to do in the first place. So now we're going to start trying to do multi-community ops. Starting first with around the 80-person ballpark because I know that's possible, and then we'll start pushing the envelope every month. So that's Project 17. We'll run that the 6th of March, which is a Saturday. And then the prep footage you're seeing right here is some template testing stuff for Project 18, which will be first battle of Guadalcanal, Guadalcanal, also known as Operation Watchtower. And I'm just going to have to shelve this one because this isn't going to be run till like the 6th of April or something, like way down the road. But I always like to, prepare ahead of time because the more stuff I can front log right now, the more I can get into a few other things. Speaking of, I'm thinking next week I'm going to start dabbling in the Star Wars Squad mod. Something completely fresh, something completely new, but a way to revitalize my love for Star Wars style stuff because I don't mean to nudge anyone the wrong way, but Star Sim is, yeah, I have my own opinion on that, so this will hopefully let me get away from that and go into something else that is still of, a good Star Wars quality, because I don't really want to support anything that's EA related. So let me think, what else do we have in terms of the channel? No, I mean, really, that's it. Just, try to get 2 to 3 videos up a day, probably three now because I have a massive backlog of commentaries I gotta put up. And one of the other final stages is I gotta go back and start cracking through the Zeus Encyclopedia and other, tutorial-based videos because as I'm freeing myself up for time, I'm finding that I do have the time now to do these projects. And I am working on a video that simply talks about AI mods for Arma 3 because there's a lot of misconceptions out there, and I just want to put out a few general blanket statements about a few things. Because most communities out there don't need a few things from certain AI mods, but we'll get there when we get there on that one. That'll actually probably be releasing later in the week, if not early next week. I'm trying to think what else is worthy of the channel update. I updated the Twitch to say I'm not a college student anymore. I forgot to do that, and I also fixed the schedule because I still had like BIA stuff on there. That's from forever ago. But yeah, I mean, that's all I really have to report. I mean, we're good, and that's honestly great that we're we're gonna be good. It's relieving to say that. I guess like super long term down the road, after Bloodwind and I settle on a place and probably move in by like August or September, I want to get into a few new lines of videos. I was in culinary arts for 2 years, and I'd like to show a few things I like to cook just to be cheesy with my channel. And then get into like mead making or something interesting like that and just record my findings and, some ratios of, this is what I think the best meat is if you want to do something. Because a lot of the time I spend these days is on my channel. And because I don't really do social media or anything, I use this as my social media, but that's why I also remain anonymous. But I'll just, increase what I do and just have fun with it. Because why not? It's my platform. I'll of course keep the Arma uploads going and whatever else you people want to see, but I'll do a few things I want to do too. Just some simple life stuff. Because why not? It's fun. You know. But that's just me thinking down the road. Um. Oh, right. So I did say in a few Patreon posts, and these were also sent to Twitch subs, because every week I release a like a general week to week statement of things that have happened and what we're working on. I did put a lot of thought into giving you guys an ultimatum for like a face reveal or something, because I always like literally every week, especially since like 25th of January, people have been asking like if I'm ever going to show my face, and I thought about it. If I were to do, some crazy ultimatum, like if I ever get like 1 million subs on YouTube or blah blah blah, and then I thought even to the most ridiculous things, that could be possible. 5 years ago when I started this, I never thought I'd be here, and 5 years from now, I could potentially be there. And would I man up and actually show my face on anything I promised 5 years ago? Because I did keep up my commitment with the artillery only operation at 100K that I made like 6 or 7 months ago. I kept that because I'm a man of my word, and my integrity is my something very important to me, be it through this channel or stuff I do IRL. And to be perfectly honest with you guys, I don't think I could do it. I I just value being able to put Liru on as a mask more than anything, and separating my small real life, my quiet life, and this where I get to be a rock star. It's I really do value that. Just to have it, you know? And I think it's going to stay that way. So I'm not going to say never to a face reveal because things can always happen years down the road. Something crazy might happen. And I might just say, fuck it, get super drunk and show it one night. But for now, at least sober me is concerned, I just don't have the balls. Plus, my voice is really dumb. I mean, it gets really high pitched. I sound like a squeaker some fucking times, and I just, my voice doesn't match my face at all. I'm not ready for the comments on that. I'm sorry. I just want to keep this going, and whatever you think I look like is good enough for me. Hell, I mean, I know to some of you I'm probably some 500-pound dude on this poor little gaming chair. That's okay. I'm just here to have fun and put some smiles on your faces or try to entertain you, just as any other YouTuber is. So I'm happy with that as long as I can just, live comfortably, have a life. Yeah. Okay. I need to wrap this up because I'm just getting all fucking teary-eyed. So, um, yeah, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to ask in the comment section. I will answer every one of them for the video. And stop asking me to look at the HAL mod. We'll talk about that in the upcoming mod, Arma 3 AI mods stuff. All right, it's HAL is not a good fit for what we do in TSB, just because of what it does. And also, stop telling me to kill my player base, please. That insults me more than anything else. Yes, we do it. Yes, I do get malicious, but I always state my reasoning. But if I were to kill my player base every single op, they'd leave. And that's not good for Arma, because I want people to play Arma. Arma's a great game. Oh, there's my voice getting squeaky again. Yep, time to end the video. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. I hope you continue to enjoy the content. Seriously, that's the most important part here, is as long as you keep enjoying everything, I'll keep doing it. But otherwise, cheers, guys. Have a good one. Go operate operationally, and I'll see you around the 15th of March. March, March. And yeah, we'll see what happens then. But till then, see you guys next time. Wait, where's the pause button? Oh, there it is.